Russia 1917. The Russian nation is under the rule of the Romanov family. Tsar Nicholas II is commanding his soldiers on the Eastern Front. War continues to be waged against Germany's forces, who are led by the Kaiser Wilhelm. The holy man Rasputin, who was the only man who could alleviate the hemophilia pains of Alexei Romanov, and was considered by many to be a lover of the Tsarina, has been brutally murdered by the nobility of Russia. On International Women's Day, a peaceful protest to increase the bread ration commences. The next day, more supporters joined the protesters, and soldiers are ordered to open fire on the citizens. 50 were killed. Soon the city guards have either all fled or joined the protesters. The protesters then take control of the Winter Palace in the capital city of Petrograd. The Tsar is forced to step down. The provisional government makes promises of a higher bread ration, peace with Germany, and a return of all exiles to Russia. But in allowing the return of exiles, they have enabled the return of Vladimir Lenin, one of the greatest revolutionary minds of the 20th century. Along with him are Leon Trotsky and Joseph Stalin. These three were prominent leaders of the Bolshevik Party, a branch of the Soviets. The Soviet Party was heavily inspired by the writings of Karl Marx, a German philosopher. Marx wrote in the Communist Manifesto that there were two classes of the world. The first, the proletariat, who were the many workers who supplied much of the world. The second were the bourgeois, meaning the few and the wealthy who took from the proletariat and used it for their luxuries. Marx predicted that the proletariat would rise and create a communist nation in which there is no class system and everyone was paid the same. Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin sought to fulfill Marx's prophecy. Over the next few months, the Bolsheviks would rally support to their cause. On October 23, 1917, on the Julian calendar, the leaders of the Bolshevik Party, led by Lenin, met and were called to a vote. Should the Bolsheviks lead a revolution in Petrograd to overthrow the provisional government? For a while it seemed close and that the vote would fail. Even Stalin was skeptical of the revolution's success. But thanks to the work and persuasive skills of Lenin and Trotsky, when the vote was called, it won 10 yes, 2 no. Preparations began immediately. Late night on October 24th, the Red Guard assembled and led an attack on telegraph stations, railway stations, factories, bridges, and other key locations, swiftly guaranteeing control of the city of Petrograd without a single shot fired. Now there was only one target left to capture, the Winter Palace, a building that served as the command center for the provisional government. Luckily, a small group was able to enter and capture the building without any bloodshed whatsoever. Alexander Kerensky, the prime minister of the provisional government at the time, hearing news of the capture, quickly fled north. In Moscow, after heavy fighting, the Bolsheviks managed to seize the city, and the revolution would continue for many days. The Bolsheviks would come to control 17 provincial capitals, and the provisional government's attempts to reclaim Petrograd and Moscow brought heavy casualties on their armies. On November 5th, Lenin came to congratulate the soldiers and the workers of the revolution. He said to them, "Remember that now you yourselves are at the helm of state. No one will help you if you yourselves do not unite and take into your hands the affairs of the state. Your Soviets are from now on organs of state authority, legislative bodies with full power." Now the Bolsheviks had control of many territories in the capital. They also had a war to wage against loyalists and supporters of the provisional government. In the immediate fallout of the Bolshevik Revolution, a civil war broke out in Russia between the Reds, the Soviets, and the Whites, Tsar loyalists, provisional government supporters, American, British, and Japanese soldiers. In 1918, the new Soviet nation made peace with the Kaiser and leaders of Germany. The Civil War would continue for 4 years, with the Bolsheviks emerging victorious in 1921. After the Civil War, Lenin ordered all private property to be recalled from the people of Russia. This, however, caused a famine to break out. Without enough food produced for themselves, 5 million Russian peasants, farmers, and other citizens died. Shortly after the Civil War ended, Lenin suffered a stroke and became severely ill and was forced to stay in bed. Seeing as how Lenin was dying, Joseph Stalin and Leon Trotsky engaged in the power struggle. Stalin emerged as the victor and became the authoritative leader of the Soviet Russia. Trotsky was exiled to Mexico in 1929. Afterwards, Stalin hired 2 assassins. The first failed, but the second one, Ramon Mercader, succeeded and murdered Trotsky with an ice pick. After Stalin took control, he had to fill a gap of scientific advancements of roughly 100 years. He was able to complete the catch-up within 10. Many years after the revolution and after World War II had ended, a Cold War began between the Communist Russia and capitalist America. The rise of the first communist nation also set the groundwork for other communist nations such as Cuba, China, and Vietnam. The Bolshevik Revolution of 1917 dramatically changed Russia's government, but more importantly, it was an important turning point in history.